Hello, everybody. January 2025 has come and gone, so it's time for another video blog. In this version, I'm going to be walking through my purchases, what I've been selling, and what I've been keeping for the month of January 2025. So, hope it gives you a little bit of insight into the lens of someone who does this as a hobby and part time on top of their day job, on top of their time with a wife and a kid. And how I'm doing. So throughout, I'm going to walk through some anecdotes, some fun stories, as well as financial performance for the month of January. So hope you like it. Well, we'll start with purchases here. The main categories that I purchased in January 2025 include personal collection keeps and projects, some bulk purchases, which is something I typically avoid, and I'll talk about why I typically avoid bulk purchases, and the old familiar Topps Gold and miscellaneous categories. So jumping in, really bought several Adam Wainwright Topps Black flagship parallels. These are for my personal collection. I collect Adam Wainwright, longtime pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. Anytime you can get something numbered under 100 for under $10 for a player you collect, it's just a great deal. And funny enough, I started buying these before Topps announced or at least omitted the Topps Black parallels from their 2025 Series 1 checklist, which has angered quite a few fans. Now, on the reselling side, in addition to the personal collection interest, I bought a good number of bulk lots. Now, what do I mean by bulk? Well, I'm talking about large quantity, typically in the thousands for my intents and purposes, and it's typically going to be base cards or low-end parallels. Nothing absolutely crazy. Maybe some things worth double digits, but typically everything on the scale of dollars or cents. And typically it's unsorted, which is why I don't like buying bulk. It takes a long time to sort and organize. It's annoying to store. And all of that is fighting for really small profit margins in most cases. So definitely went beyond my normal capacity for bulk. But hey, January, there's no baseball to watch, so what's more fun than just sitting and sorting cards? It is kind of enjoyable, maybe, but I wouldn't want to do this all the time. So focused on some lots. 2001, definitely stuck to Topps licensed stuff. 2001, 2009, 2015, 2013 Topps Heritage, as well as 2010 and 2011. Now, in what situations do I buy bulk? Well, if the price is right, and we're talking pennies for the cards at the card unit cost basis, you can always resell at the same cost. And so I love going in on lots at that cost, the bulk lots, because if there's nothing amazing, I can always just repackage it, and I might lose a few cents to shipping and fees, but it's really not too bad financially. And then, of course, you always have a chance for some diamond in the rough, and that's exactly what happened in the month of January. I was really pleased. My first hits in this 2010 and 2011 bulk lot came in the form of some Buster Posey, Freddie Freeman, and Paul Goldschmidt rookie cards, each of which by themselves far outpace the unit cost for these cards and really covers my initial investment into these lots. Funny enough, I actually decided to make my first grading submission with a lot of the rookie cards that I picked up in January 2025 in these bulk lots. They were in great condition, and we're going to try it out. So I think if they come back at least an 8, it won't be a totally bad move. If any of them come back a 9 or a 10, then we will be doing really, really well financially based on these purchases. But for the stuff that isn't a diamond in the rough, these are not the cards that will make you make a lot of profit compared to what you paid. It is really nice to package the star players into small player lots and sell those and make a couple bucks per transaction. That ultimately does chip away at the investment. And then I already repackaged several thousand of these into a bulk lot and can make $10 to $15 of sales profit or transactional profit by selling that in a 12-pound box. So a lot of cards go into some collector who may be taking the same strategy as me with them. But anyhow, let's carry on here. You see this Chris Bryant, a big Rockies fan. I love getting in-person autographs. Always fun to pick up an image variation of him. And then the next range kind of falls into my miscellaneous category. So we have some numbered cards, some low-end autographs, and then jumping into Topps Heritage here. I really do like red refractors. I think they have a lot of appeal to collectors. They are low numbered, relatively speaking, under 400, if my memory is correct. And so a lot of these I've been selling not for significant profits, but enough where it's justified me making the purchase. And worst case, hey, if it doesn't sell, it's something neat in my own collection, or at least in my inventory, that I can keep listed for a while and not worry too much because it's such a low price point. So this seller actually had, I want to say, a 20% off if you bought 10 or more. So that was worth checking out. Definitely compelled me to look at their store deeply, and I was able to find 10 cards, all happen to be Topps Heritage that I bought, and several of these have sold already, which is really fun to see. I did dive into vintage a little bit, picked up a couple of low-grade Hank Aaron cards, one of which I've listed for sale as kind of a filler set card for 1971, and the other one I will probably submit to SGC later on this year, maybe in the next couple of months. So the next batch that I purchased, a couple of gold lots, Topps Gold. They're numbered to the year of manufacture. So for instance, this lot from 2021, every card is numbered to 2021. So it's got a nice limited print run, better than base. And funny enough, you can see I paid $9.42 after shipping, fees, and taxes. I was actually able to sell one of these cards, a Logan Gilbert rookie card, for $9.99 shipped. So it's always great to see one card sell for more than the price that you paid for the entire lot. And of course, shipping fees didn't completely cover my purchase, but enough of these will sell where really anything from here on out that I'm selling is just literal pure profit, which is really, really fun. And the seller didn't have Logan Gilbert mentioned anywhere in the title, in the description, and that was the best card that was in the lot. Similarly, for this lot of 85, the seller did not disclose in the title or in the comments that there was a Bobby Witt Jr. Topps Gold from 2024. And it was actually on like the 13th of 13 photos in the lot. So I saw that. I purchased that for $19.62 for all 85, and I sold the Witt by itself, one of 85 cards in the lot, for $19.99, price as shipped, within 24 hours of listing it. So this is another example of, okay, I'm going to cover my lot purchase cost with one card that really outpaces the rest of the lot. And then from there on out, anything that sells is just going to be money in my pocket. And because I've gotten to a point where listing singles is really straightforward, it's simple, I've devised some automation to make my life way easier. It is not a chore to list 85 cards. Very simple, especially because they have all similar characteristics. I can just use basic spreadsheet functions and then pass a spreadsheet into a Python script to list everything and really cut my time down a lot. This next lot was a lot of fun, the 2011 Topps. You can see a higher price point. This seller and I have developed a relationship. He's liquidating a lot of cards from my favorite era, of course, the 2011 Topps set. One of the most iconic sets out there with an incredible rookie class, and I was thrilled that this lot included 4 Jose Altuve rookie cards. All of those have also been submitted for my first grading submission to PSA, as well as some really nice parallels, even some in the $10 to $20 range. Even just today at the recording of this video, sold a couple of Buster Posey cards from the Platinum Diamond Anniversary parallel set, $10 a piece. And so you can see I paid $97 for the lot and already have probably recouped that fully. And I'm still waiting on the grading results for those Altuve and Goldschmidt rookies that were in this lot. So similar drill here. Most of the stuff fits into the description I've just made, but just to give you a tease of what I've been buying, I did take a chance at a 1972 Topps lot that, of course, had the worst title of all time, Baseball Cards Lot, but showed up in one of my saved searches. Took a chance on it. It was only $43 for close to 200 cards. They were in decent condition. I ended up, there really wasn't anything special in there, so I simply resold this lot very quickly. Probably took just a couple of dollars of a loss to get it out the door. I accepted an offer from a buyer. And that just goes to show that sometimes they can't all be zingers. And taking a couple bucks on a loss to get something recouped is not the end of the world, especially when you're counting on other wins to carry their weight from a financial performance standpoint. And then more of the same with the lots. I had to pick up a Jake Brentz autographed rookie card. You've probably never heard of him, but that's okay. I played against him in high school, and I lived in the same city as him when he was pitching an A-ball in 2016. So that was just a fun one to pick up for a couple of bucks, keep in my personal collection. More Adam Wainwright, more Topps Gold, another big bulk lot. This one from the same seller where most of these came from. And this one's super exciting because it came with a Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, and Joey Votto rookie card from the 2008 sets, all in very, very nice condition, and those have been submitted to grading as well. More Clayton Kershaw. Funny enough, I wasn't even searching for this. It just popped up on my feed, and always exciting to pick up some 2006 and 2008 Kershaw cards. I sent two of these to grading, the Bowman Heritage Mini from 2006 and then the Bowman Gold from 2008. So we'll see how those come back. But otherwise, the other one, the full-size card, had a little bit of obvious corner wear, so I just listed that on my store as a raw card. But I'm very confident I will make my money back on that purchase. Supplies. Can't forget about the eBay subscription discount. Every quarter, you get $25 if you have a basic store towards supplies, and that is something that I picked up at the end of the month. So got a couple other ones that you may have seen on the screen coming in February. We'll talk about those at the next video blog, but just a snapshot of what I've been buying, with the big themes for January being bulk lots, something I typically avoid, but hey, if the price is right, definitely got to go for it. Topps Gold Parallels, something I've done for several years, and then some vintage and some miscellaneous numbered and short print cards to finish it out. So, of course, it's really fun to buy, and that's what most collectors do, but we got to talk about what we're selling as well. And also we have to understand the difference between personal collection or long-term keeps versus what we're trying to resell quickly. So this is my financial performance dashboard. Just to give you a snapshot, I don't think I've showed that in depth on my YouTube channel, but for the month of January, we're sitting at about $1,300, a little bit more on order revenue, a little bit coming in from income. What this means practically for now is credit card rewards on purchases, basically from December, and charged shipping, which I like to put in a separate bucket. I don't charge for shipping on all of my listings, but it's at least good to understand when a buyer mentally is paying for charged shipping versus what the order value is. And so all of that adds up to just under $1,400 of revenue for the month of January 2025. And so you might be curious, well, how did that compare to last year? So I profited on cards in 2024. And so a logical question is, well, if I made $1,400 in January 2025, what did I do this time last year? And you can see I was not as high of a value. In fact, I was around, $700 or so in revenue just a year ago. I really have scaled up my business practices a bit. You can see here, took a big jump in September. Mainly, this was empowered by taking bigger purchasing decisions. And so you can see here, this bottom chart shows my purchases. This is my money out. So cash flow, this is revenue in. The bottom is cash out going towards purchases. And then this middle chart represents overall profit. And so you can see dating back to January 1st, 2024, I'm up a couple $100, which if you're watching this, you're probably not going to find too impressive, but let me just reiterate my goals. I'm doing this as a hobby. I have a full-time job. I have a family. I am trying at the end of every year to spend $0 out of my pocket and keep a bunch of cards for long-term holding that I think will go up in value. So that is my personal goal. You might have a different personal goal. Obviously, if I was trying to do this as a full-time job, or if I was trying to just maximize profit and not keep anything for myself, this chart would not be good. But in this case, for me and for my goals, this is amazing, because what this means is I'm keeping a bunch of really fun cards for myself, and I have a little bit of leftover money at the end of the day. So we'll jump back to actually the month that we're talking about it, but good to know that we're already outpacing last year. My overall profit for the overall month was negative $232. So effectively, I spent $232 of cash, as well as a bunch of time, which is not captured on this dashboard, to keep some cards for my collection and to build my inventory. And then the last thing I'll hit on here is the divide between what I call, just for simplicity, personal purchases versus business. This is a higher weight of personal purchases than I normally do. So moving forward in future months, if you follow along, you're going to see this red bar be smaller. The reason why is I definitely set some personal collection goals for 2025, and I like to accomplish those as soon as possible. My goals included things along the lines of Adam Wainwright parallels and some cards for in-person autograph opportunities, which we'll get into. So this number is higher, but one thing to take away here, hey, my profit, negative $232. Well, if I look here, I spent $248 on stuff that I am not trying to have a return on investment, which is one way to think about the personal purchases. But $248, that's what I spent with no interest in a return. And actually, my bottom line profit, including that, was better, higher total dollar amount, $232 spent on $248 worth of stuff for no return. So that actually comes across as a good thing in my mind. And that also includes a lot of stuff that I haven't even listed yet because I haven't had time. So very confident these numbers will start moving in the more positive direction, but all told, very successful month. Now, I talked a lot in the purchases category about different projects. And so I use the custom label or SKU field on eBay, as well as my purchases spreadsheet, which looks like this. And that is how I track my project performance. And so you can see here, I've just defaulted to my bulk category that I was talking about. And if you look at the month of January, it's as if I spent $300 on those bulk orders. And what's interesting is you have to factor in the cost of shipping and supplies and all of that. And if you burden all those in, basically if each transaction takes on some of your shipping and overhead expenses, like an eBay store subscription, it really felt like I spent something more like $344 on those lots of cards. And you can see my sales here, just to sort these a little bit. And this is all feeding from my eBay data, right? So here are the purchases. These are the big ones that we just walked through on the mobile screen capture. And then, of course, the sales, even like a couple days ago, Buster Posey selling for $10. Some stuff has sold in February at the time of recording that it doesn't show up with this date filter here. But we're actually doing well. The other funny thing is this number, it's as if I spent $344. That is also talking about the Jose Altuve, Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt rookie cards that are currently in the mail on their way to grading. So I have not even given myself a chance to recoup a lot of this money because I am waiting for hopeful added value with the grading expense. So really not worried about this one. This number might freak some people out, but given the circumstances at hand, as well as the strong sales, you can see just a good number of these selling the $5 to $6 to $7 range and they were purchased for about 2 cents a piece. That's a good sign, and we're hoping for some high grades on those nice future Hall of Fame rookie cards that will really move this chart up kind of in a vertical fashion. Topps Gold would be another one that we can look at today. And this was interesting because I actually decided to go on Reddit and post my thousands of Topps Golds and use a software program to generate images for different teams that people might be interested in. So I have other videos on that, basically how to take single listings from eBay, compile those into like characteristics, like Topps Gold, like teams. And I posted that, got really a good turnout. And you can see just within a couple of days, my overall profit for Topps Gold jumped from $50 for the month to $455. So I got $400 in sales in just a couple of days. And even a couple of those transactions technically hit the books on February 1st. So this is the power of being able to digitally understand your card collection. I was able to make a post. It got over 400 comments, and you can get $400 in sales just one day if you know how to organize everything and get people interested in what they want to buy. And that is especially pronounced. You can see just some of the big winners here. They're all going to be, $10, $5 cards, and then we got some $40 lots. These were really what moved the needle to get from $50 to $450 in just a couple of days. So that is a quick look at the financial performance. Again, I'm expecting February to be really a fun turn in the positive, although at this rate, I'm really content to keep buying. Conventional wisdom says you want to buy baseball in the off season. That's what we're doing here. I do feel like I'm getting good deals compared to historically what I pay for some of these. And so it's going to be exciting to look back on this and build a bigger curve than what we're seeing now. Just as a tease, I can go back in time here, and you can see, let's just go back to like 2023. If we can do that, let's try 2024. There we go. Let's try that. I think I have my default date set to this, but like this is the type of curve that we're going to see. So anytime we make a big purchase, it'll go down, but the hope is there that we get some good inventory to go up quickly on. So that's what we saw here with the Topps Gold sales on Reddit at the end of the month. So I am upping my purchasing. You can see I kind of made a decision here that I want to spend more money on this because it's getting easier to list things. And so far that has proven fruitful. So good to know. One number to remember as we go into the next segment is 232. So out of pocket, this is the bottom line. And so all these cards that you're going to see in this next segment, you can think of not considering the time spent, but hey, I spent $230 and some time in the month of January to gain these cards for my personal collection. Real fun month for January from the personal collection standpoint. Just going to start out here. Really like Alek Thomas, so had to pick up this silver refractor numbered card from 2021 Topps Heritage. And then the other ones that I kept from that miscellaneous lot are these action image variations. So you can see under the card number it says action there. These are actually going to go into a complete set that I already have for the full 2021 Topps Heritage. And I kind of like tricking it out. So it's fun to upgrade just the normal base cards to action image variations. This one was a gift from my buddy Travis from Sprague Sports Memorabilia, worth checking out. So it was my birthday in January. He was very kind to give me an Adam Wainwright pink refractor. And then jumping in here, these are the Adam Wainwright black parallels. You can see this one numbered to just 61 copies. And it is a shame that Topps will not be doing this again in 2025. Or maybe they will pull out something weird and start doing it in like Series 2 or Update and going back and revealing all of the blacks for Series 1 players. But really nice to add a bunch of these to the Adam Wainwright collection at, in my opinion, a pretty low price point. This Chris Sale rookie card came from the same bulk lot that had Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt, Jose Altuve, and from that same seller. And shockingly, despite Sale having just an electric career, even winning the Cy Young Award last season, his rookie card is shockingly low cost. So I decided, even though this is in great condition, to not send this in for grading because it's, I don't even know how, but only worth a couple of bucks ungraded and really not much more graded, especially compared to the other rookies in that iconic 2011 set. The next batch, these are all golds for the personal collection. And you can see by the players here, I'm really trying to collect stars and Hall of Famers. As we know, Barry Bonds, not a Hall of Famer, but his golds are really tough to find. So this showed up in my mailbox shortly after the new year, and that was actually my first Barry Bonds gold for the gold collection. I typically avoid these All-Star Game and Home Run Derby type variants, usually from the update set. Usually I try to just stick to the flagship tops, but Molina played for my favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals, and so that came in one of these bulk lots, and I was happy to keep that one in the gold collection. Really like these. I think their value long term is going to be pretty darn stable. It should go up for the Hall of Famers because of the limited print supply and the consistency. Here's the Jake Brentz card. $2 well spent for someone that I personally played against and have met, and I do wish him luck coming back from injury. So this is a big one. If you are a baseball fan, if you are a card fan, you understand the market on Paul Skeens. Well, again, my friend from Sprague Sports Memorabilia, he actually handled a private signing, or I guess handled the submission to a private signing done by a company that is exclusive with Paul Skeens. And so he handled everything from the shipping to the insurance and actually procured this Topps Update rookie card for me. And my price point when I got in, it was $150 for the signing fee, which really at this point looks like a bargain, shockingly, despite him being a prospect. And I'm not doing this really as a great financial play. In fact, I'm always wary of young players, especially pitchers, and health and long-term success. But Skeens is just so fun to watch. And so when I had the opportunity to get his flagship Topps Update rookie card signed, I jumped on it, was dealing with some of the profits that I had last year. I want to say I paid for this in like October, November, and it showed up into my mailbox in early January. So it comes with MLB authentication, really a beautiful, beautiful signature on a nice rookie card. All right, the next few, this is a lot of fun. You can see this Charlie Blackmon card. I actually got this unsigned card as part of one of those big bulk lot purchases, which is another advantage of buying in bulk, is you have some ammunition for different autograph opportunities. And Blackmon I was able to meet at the Rockies Fan Fest in January, and really successful few days. You can see I'll also show you a couple Ezequiel Tovars that I got at the Fan Fest over the course of 2 days. Really great event. The Rockies are full of some super nice players. And shockingly, didn't even know this was possible, but I was able to get over 100 cards signed by current players, some alumni, and prospects like Chase Dollander, who really has an exciting career ahead of him. So I'm going to flip a few pictures on the screens of just all of the stuff that I got signed at Rockies Fest. And actually, it looks like within view, one other thing that I will show you is a Brenton Doyle Gold Glove baseball that I got signed. So really cool signature on a specialty baseball. Brenton Doyle, very kind man. Very good of him to sign. So I showed these because I actually included all of my autograph tickets and admission costs into my January 2025 accounting. So that number you saw of what I practically spent for all of my return in January. That includes all of the admission for Rockies Fest. So very cool. And then finally, I guess this is my third shout out to Sprague Sports Memorabilia, but as part of his birthday gift, he was just incredibly kind to give me a Ryan McMahon Gold Wave Refractor rookie card, PSA 10 Gem Mint. So really a fun month. I don't have months typically this fun from a personal collection standpoint because I'm so focused on reselling and taking things and creating value by making good high quality listings and taking bulk lots and turning those into singles and smaller lots. So it's always fun to have a month like this where you just really have a nice return of things to keep. And all the stuff for the most part is stuff that I think will grow in value over time. These are all big name players, unique cards, nothing too common here, but also not the highest end stuff, but really, really fun to build the personal collection this way. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video blog. We'll be doing the same recipe in the months to come. So I think it's really good for my own benefit to keep track of what I'm spending, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and then what I'm keeping. And hopefully it's some inspiration for you to see that it is possible to fund your hobby interest with gains from reselling and by coming up with processes and practices to make your life easier. You can turn other people's cards that you may not care about into cards that you do want to keep. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next video.